Hi, so we're going to talk about your next note-taking strategy. We looked at marking and annotating as a means of comprehending text and working through SQ3R. Then we turned those into Cornell notes, which is one format of note-taking. The next format of note-taking we're going to look at is concept mapping. If you're going into a field, well, really any field that has kind of complex concepts that are covered in text, concept mapping is a great way to represent it. Here's an example. Okay, see how they're connected with, well, there's words and phrases connected with lines and arrows. This is concept mapping. Here's also another example of concept mapping. We have boxes, for lack of a better word, connected by arrows and words and phrases. Another example. And then here's one more. This one uses color to indicate levels of importance. Okay. But concept maps presents relationships of connected concepts and ideas. It basically is a visual representation of how you see a topic in your brain. Okay? It shows the concepts, it shows the ideas, and how they are connected. So, in short, you create a concept map by writing keywords, sometimes in circles, triangles, squares, and then drawing arrows between the ideas that are related, and then you add a short explanation by the arrow of how they're related, right? It seems they're not difficult, but there are steps that you should follow to create every concept map. Okay? The first one is brainstorming. Now, when you mark and annotate, you've worked through the text and you have a good understanding, or you should, of the key concepts, the key ideas. So what you're going to do, and if you don't have sticky notes, cut piece of paper and make note cards. You're going to brainstorm from your memory all the facts, terms, ideas, concepts, dates, people, key players that you think are associated with your particular topic. Okay, one per sticky note or piece of sticky note. And it's brainstorming, so you don't kind of censor yourself. You write down everything you think is important, no connection, nothing. You're just doing a list of words and phrases. The goal here is to generate the biggest possible list that you can. So now you have all of these sticky notes. Now the second phase is organizing them. Spread them all out and try grouping things together. You can group them as big groups and subgroups or related categories, but try to group items that emphasize hierarchy. Okay, so the higher categories, and then branch off from there. Once you've done this, you can then introduce new items that you, oh, I forgot, or you can see where you have repetition and you can remove them. But you're doing just a layout and organizing it on a desk, on a piece of paper, on your textbook, on the floor, wherever you have space. Some of your words and phrases will fall into multiple groupings, and that's okay. It'll come into play a little bit later. So once you've grouped them, now you lay them out. So you can either lay them out as the key concept in the center and build out like a spider web, or the key concept at the top and build down like a hierarchy. And you want to actually connect your sticky notes. Okay? So you want to place closely related items near to each other, and you want to kind of have in mind a simple sentence. How are they related? So you'll actually have your layout of your concept map at the end of this. Then you want to link them, and you want to take what you think are the words or phrases and put them on a piece of paper. Okay, and you want to draw arrows. So you want to write a short word or phrase to specify the relationship between the two. And You can have one concept that is connected to 4 or 5 different things, or you can have 4 or 5 different concepts that are all connected to one. It's however your mind represents the material. And now you convert that into a permanent form. So you want to think whenever you're making it, there's lots of free websites you can use. You can do it by hand if you want. You can even use Word, but it's a little clunky. But you want to be creative. You can use different colors, different fonts, different shapes, different border thicknesses. Okay. You want to have a title for your map and make it visually appealing, because this is, for those of you who are visual learners, this is a great way of organizing your notes because it visually represents your brain. Okay. Once you have done that finalization step, then you want to go back and look. Is it accurate? Isn't it thorough? Was it laid out in a way that higher order relationships are apparent? Does it have a title? Does it visually appeal to you? Was it done with care and attention? And is it creative? You might, if you're writing about parts of a cell, maybe your shapes are the different shapes of the parts of the cell. Okay. Anything that you can put in there to help reinforce that understanding. And you might end up then with something like this. Figurative language, overall concept, can alter the meaning of this, which can include this. So you just read them like sentences. Figurative language can make comparisons, which can include a metaphor, which says something is something else. The metaphor is phrased as a fact, or the comparison can include a simile, which uses like or as. The simile suggests objects are alike. So your brain is putting these concepts together with words or phrases that connect them. Another example, Harry Potter. Look, we have a couple that end with Harry Potter. Look at the arrowheads. And we have a couple that start with Harry Potter. Okay? Or we have one that's down the center, split off to the different sides. Okay, so we have concepts of different colors in the boxes. Or here's a hand-drawn one. Lifeguarding, friendship, good, bad. They have little pictures to help remember. Okay. Another hand-drawn one. And then this is really visually appealing, right? How should you try mind mapping, or why you should try mind mapping, when? So I want you to practice, pick something that you have to read for a class and go through those steps. You want to brainstorm, put them on little pieces of paper. You want to group those pieces of paper together into categories or concepts, related items. Then you want to lay those out. And then you want to have your linking words and phrases. And then you want to create it as a final concept map. Now, you can go to bubble.us, B-U-B-L, which is a free mind mapping tool. Let me pull it up here. Okay. You can create, if you register, you get a free account, and you can create things like this that you can do different colors. Or you could go to mindmup.com, M-I-N-D-M-U-P, which is another free online mind map, concept map. Okay. Or you can use Microsoft Word. This is one of the choices for your last note-taking strategy that you can pick. So practice with something short. Do it with an article. Do it with a section of a chapter in your textbook for whatever class. Ultimately, you'll be getting an article to mark and annotate, and then either do a mind map, a concept map, or an outline.